Hey, what is up, gamers? This is James Martin from Beavertail Gamers. Welcome today to a brand new series where we're going to cover Genshin Impact. So today we're going to talk about how to fight and defeat all the HYPOSTASIS monsters. Keep in mind this is only current up to version 2.0. Today we're going to be looking on how you want to go about fighting the Pyro, Electro, Anemo, Geo, and finally the Cairo HYPOSTASIS. Everything you need to know and the best setup strategy in order to take these things down. They can be quite tanky and quite difficult to defeat if you especially don't know the proper procedures to defeat them. So before we start, I want you to please hit the like button and smash the subscribe button for more future content. I'm going to be using two key terms. The first is called the protection phase, and then there's the calm phase. It's where the HYPOSTASIS is in a phase where it's not going to do anything. It just stays in one spot. It's not attacking. This is your moment of opportunity to strike and deal as much damage as possible before it moves and tries to attack you. Protection phase, this refers to when the HYPOSTASIS is trying to either regain strength or its shield, where you'll have to break the shield or somehow prevent it from being revived otherwise. And if you don't, this could cause a lot of trouble for you. So with all that in mind, let's begin, shall we? So the first one we're going to look at is the brand new Pyro HYPOSTASIS, and this can be found in the new Inazuma. So what you want to keep in mind about the Pyro HYPOSTASIS is that there are two phases. The first one is when it's flaming. This is going to cause you more damage in a variety of ways and will be much harder for you to beat. Eventually, by doing enough damage, it'll douse the flame. Now we will go into the second phase. This is the phase you want this boss to get to and stay in for as long as possible. Only when the flame is doused, it's going to do two types of attacks, but it's not going to do nearly as much damage as it did before. This will make your job a lot more manageable. Every once in a while, it's going to go into a protection phase, where there are three sort of fire rock things that you must destroy very quickly, otherwise the HYPOSTASIS will go back into its flame phase. You will need to destroy these things with a charged elemental shot, with the exception of fire, of course. Either a bowman or a catalyst mage will work just fine. I'm currently using Barbara as she can get the job done pretty quickly. The HYPOSTASIS will go into this phase several times, so stay on your guard. When the Pyro HYPOSTASIS isn't attacking you, it'll also be in its calm phase, giving you the perfect moment to attack and deal as much damage as possible. Hurry, as this window doesn't last very long. Now we're going to go to what's perhaps my favorite HYPOSTASIS monster, and that's the Electro HYPOSTASIS, which can be found in Mondstadt. This will continuously attack you with a variety of different tricks, so keep your distance and you should be fine. Between every attack, it'll go into a calm phase. This will make it vulnerable to your attacks. If it makes a circle with laser pointing out, obviously try not to get hit by the lasers or you'll get electric damage. Instead, run into the center where it's the most vulnerable, giving you the best moment to strike. Once you've dealt enough damage, it will go into its protection phase, where you will need to use an elemental charge attack to destroy three electric things. You cannot use electro attacks against this. Once again, you will need to be swift as you don't have long to destroy them. Here, I'm using Rosaria's and Xiangling's elemental attacks, which gets the job done perfectly. If you fail to destroy all three electro bits, the HYPOSTASIS will regain part of its health and you will need to continue fighting it. Now we're going to go to the Anemo HYPOSTASIS, which can also be found in Mondstadt. So just like with Electro, the Anemo HYPOSTASIS will continuously attack you. However, between each attack, it'll go into its calm phase, where it's vulnerable for you to do your thing. Remember that you cannot do Anemo damage to it. However, I found that anything else works just fine. Once you've dealt enough damage, it's going to go into its protection phase, where instead of damaging three segments, you have to collect the wind crystals to prevent the Anemo HYPOSTASIS from reviving. Once you do that, you have defeated the HYPOSTASIS creature. Next, we're going to look at the Geo HYPOSTASIS, which can be found on the Smile Islands in Liyue. For the Geo HYPOSTASIS, you want to be using a Claymore character, otherwise defeating this boss will be harder than you think. To beat the Geo HYPOSTASIS, you'll need to first destroy the pillars that it will rest on. Destroying the pillars will make the Geo HYPOSTASIS fall, which will leave it vulnerable to attacks. While it's up high and safe on its pillar, it will continuously attack you by, well, throwing rocks at you. Once the pillars are all destroyed, then, much like the previously mentioned HYPOSTASIS, it will attack you wave after wave, but between each attack, it will go into its calm phase where you can deal some damage. Once you've dealt enough damage and the HYPOSTASIS is in its protection phase, there will be 3 pillars you must destroy to prevent the boss from being revived. In this example, I'm using Razor, which ends up working just perfectly. Alright, finally we're going to look at the HYPOSTASIS. This is also a brand new monster that got introduced to the region of Dragon Spine. In my opinion, this is the hardest one, not just because of the boss itself, but you will be dealing with a harsh cold, so be prepared. If you are not near a fire source like these pillars, you will start getting cold over time. Once your freezing point is at its limit, you will start gradually taking damage, so be careful. I would highly recommend you use a bowman on hand, and especially with a pyro elemental burst. Someone like Amber or Yoimiya would be perfect. First, pay attention to your battlefield. The HYPOSTASIS will primarily rest on what looks to be like an ice rink. Going on this ice rink will cause you to get colder much more quickly. You will also have 3 small torches, these sort of torch pillars. Try and turn them all on, as you will definitely need them. Standing near these pillars will keep you warm, thus you will be prevented from taking freezing damage. The HYPOSTASIS will attack you wave after wave with small moments in between where it will be in its calm phase where you can deal damage. Pyro elemental attacks will not do damage, however, Pyro and Electro will deal a huge amount. Once the HYPOSTASIS is in its protection phase, it will protect itself in a thick ice shield, which, unless you can cause a seriously huge amount of electro or pyro damage, you're not going to have much luck breaking through that thing. I should know, I've tried. Instead, get your pyro bowman out and watch for any frost fruits that fall from the battlefield and destroy them with a charged shot. This will allow you to destroy the shield. Then, once the pyro shield is destroyed, the HYPOSTASIS will be left vulnerable to your final blow. Obviously, we just covered 5 HYPOSTASIS monsters. There's supposed to be about 2, maybe 3 other type of HYPOSTASIS monsters to be introduced to Genshin Impact. So at that point, we'll be continuously updating this video, so you can definitely expect that in the future. But if you really like what you saw, please give this a thumbs up. This is a brand new channel. All the support would be greatly appreciated. We're planning on bringing more tutorials on Genshin Impact, so please subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and ring the bell so you don't miss anything. In the meanwhile, good luck, and I hope you enjoy, and stay safe out there, gamers. Enjoy.